Let us feel the presence of the Lord. Health is one of the aspects that should be considered by both teachers and students in order for an effective learning to take place. Research shows that a good mental health results in creativity, productivity, and increase in learning. Moreover, during this time of pandemic, it is undeniable how students and teachers struggled in adjusting to the new form of learning environment. Considering that the learning takes place from home, it is a challenge for everybody to take balance their academic responsibilities while taking care of their mental health. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa webinar po namin ngayong araw. Ako po si John Patrick Abellano and I am your moderator for today. Welcome on today's webinar with the theme Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health. Again, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the Care 104.3 Dewey FM radio station for accommodating us today, and also to the Raga Community College's third-year federated organization, spearheaded by our very active federated advisor, Miss Anime Mancera Vargas. And of course, the Science Club organization headed by the Science Club advisor, Sir Joshua Evan Locas, and to the College Student Council headed by the CSE advisor, Sir Arnold Dolosa. Because without them, this webinar will not be possible to happen. And of course, makakalimutan ba nating batiin ang ating very supportive College Dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, and our College Administrator, Dr. Joey Zamora. Hello also sa lahat ng mga nanonood ngayon. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok at pagsubaybay. Seems like that we already have a lot of viewers now. Thank you so much for being us today. So what's good in having webinars? I can really see that the viewers are really paying attention to the event because the comment box is always bombarded with lots of comments. This webinar is open to all the Riga Community College students and everyone who are willing to learn to have the knowledge on how to give importance to our mind during this pandemic. And of course, managing and balancing academics and mental health. And you are all welcome in our webinar. And of course, don't also forget our hashtag for today, hashtags Mind Matters and hashtag DCOMC Third Year Fed webinar. Ayan, and it seems that maraming student na from Derga Community College ang nanunood. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. And nagpapabati rin yung mga active block presidents coming from different blocks and majors from first year to fourth year. And nowadays, napakaraming mag-aaral ang nahihirapan makasabay sa bagong sistema ng pagtuturo. At maging ako man din ay nag-a-adjust pa lang. Nakakalungkot isipin na karamihan ay nakakaranas ng depresyon, anxiety at iba pang mental problems. Hindi po madali na balansehin ang pag-aaral kasabay ng kahirapan na ating kinakaharap ngayon. Iniisip ng iba na tumigil na lamang sa pag-aaral sapagkat hindi nila kayang i-handle ang stress na kanilang nararanasan, lalo na kapag marami na ang gawain na pangpaaralan at maging pangtahanan. Lalo na rin sa aming mga working student, kailangan na magkaroon tayo ng sapat na kaalaman kung paano nga ba matatagumpayan at malalabanan ang mga stress, anxiety, depression at iba bang mga mental problems na meron tayo. Mas mabuti na meron tayong malusog na pangangatawan at masiglang kaisipan upang anumang sakuna ay kaya nating lagpasan. Kaya naman matutunghayan natin ngayon kung ano ang mga dapat gawin bilang isang mag-aaral na nakakaranas ng mga kasakitan sa pag-aaral maging sa ating kaisipan. Napakalinaw na ang webinar natin ngayon ay pinamagatang Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health. Again, welcome on today's webinar with the theme Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health. Before we totally start the presentation, I would like to highlight some etiquettes that everyone should follow throughout the webinar. We have the first etiquette, be on time, pay attention, speak up, put your comments or questions in the comment box. Keep your questions brief to manage time. Keep our webinar safe and respectful place. And lastly, accomplish the evaluation form at the end of the webinar. Again, habang kayo po ay nanunood, kung maaari ay iwasan ang mga anumang hindi kaaya-ayang salita sa comment box. Kung kayo po ay may katanungan, yan po ay bibigyan ng kasagutan. Isulat lamang sa loob ng comment box at yan po ay sasagutin mismo ng ating panauhing speaker pagkatapos ng kanyang presentasyon. At of course, huwag kakaligtaang isulat at isama ang inyong pangalan, block, or major. Again, take note the etiquettes, our dear viewers. To kick off this afternoon's webinar, I am pleased to show you our very own Miss Anime Mancera Vargas, our third-year Federated Advisor, to give her opening remarks.
According to Noam Spencer, mental health is not a destination, it's a process. It's about how you drive, not where you're going. To our dynamic and supportive college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, to our equally dynamic and proactive college dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, our talented and most sought resource speaker, Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz, very active OSAS coordinator, Sir J.F. Nase. Our webinar sponsors College Student Council and Science Club, headed by Sir Arnold Dolose and Sir Joshua Evan Locus. To the genuine people behind Care 104.3 GWAFM, to the faculty and staff of the Daraga Community College, and to all the participants of today's webinar, good afternoon. Mental health is one of the aspects that should be considered by both teachers and students in order for an effective learning to take place. Research shows that a good mental health results in creativity, productivity, and increase in learning. Moreover, during this time of pandemic, it is undeniable how students and teachers struggled in adjusting to the new form of learning environment. Considering that learning takes place from home, it is a challenge for everybody to balance their academic responsibilities while taking care of their mental health. In line with this, the Third Year Federated proposed a webinar entitled Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health, which has a goal to increase acquisition of awareness and stabilize the academic and mental welfare of students through upholding meditation as intervention in this time of pandemic. Moreover, the conduct of this webinar will also contribute to the school mission of the Daraga Community College to produce empowered, productive, morally upright, and globally competitive professionals in the field of education, which are only possible if the learners have a good mental health. Today, we are fortunate to have a renowned speaker whose expertise and experience is truly remarkable. So listen and learn, jot down notes, and be inspired. And in behalf of Third Year Federated, it is a great honor for me to welcome you all to our webinar entitled Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health. Again, an empowering afternoon to all of you.
Thank you so much, Mom, for that very inspiring message and the inspiring opening remarks. So as of this moment, it seems like everyone is now ready to learn from our speaker. And what would make your moods even better are words to feed your souls and get yourselves energized for our webinar session today. So may I call on our very own Dr. Malvin Guyana, our college dean, to deliver his message.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, who is very supportive in all our activities in the school. Demi Lovato once said, "The advice I'd give to somebody that is silently struggling is, you don't have to live that way. You don't have to struggle in silence. You can be unsilent. You can live well with a mental health condition as long as you open up to somebody about it. Because it's really important you share your experience with people so that you can get the help that you need." Today's webinar is very timely since we are still in the verge of pandemic brought about by COVID-19. Many of us, if not all, are still affected, not only financially, but also on mental health aspect. In the midst of crisis like this, what we are experiencing right now, we have to be strong, candid in our thoughts, and be thankful that we are still lucky enough to be given another day to see the wonders of life God has given us. My dear Decomsinians, we understand your situation, especially in the delivery of instruction in this kind of platform. Many of you are struggling in many reasons, like poor signal, no load, no internet connection, and many more relative to your attendance in every subject every day. However, you can do otherwise but to overcome every challenge that comes along your way. At the end of the day, what you've accomplished is another learning that will mold you to become better persons. Our resource speaker today is a renowned school principal, an educator whose expertise in the field of education is insurmountable. That's why when I've learned that he is the guest speaker, I was very happy because he can share more with you, dear students, in this topic. Sir Jeremy, we hope that this will not be the beginning. This should just be the beginning of more activities in the college that we will be together. Thank you very much, Dr. Cruz, for your time today. My dear students, listen carefully and participate actively in this very timely webinar. God bless us all.
Sir. So now, without further ado, let's now meet our resource speaker for today. He is the man leading the success of Legazpi National High School, formerly known as Pag-asa National High School. 2020 Outstanding Public Employee or Dangal ng Bayan Awardee. 2019 Pag-asa Award Regional Winner of the Search for Outstanding Government Workers. Before he became the head of Pag-asa National High School, he, too, was a former faculty member of Pag-asa National High School itself. He was an English teacher known for his excellency in teaching students. He had great passion for teaching, but of course, as professional, he then took a step forward, a higher level of educating and at the same time leading. He was a previous principal of Bunker 1 High School, the outstanding principal of Legazpi National High School, and the most sought resource speaker here and abroad. My dear friends, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, I now present Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz.
Thank you very much, JP. I wonder where you got those information. Well, anyway, maraming salamat uli, future educator. I see a bright future in you. So good luck. And I am happy to be a witness of how Daraga Community College is providing you the kind of opportunity, the kind of privilege that will shape your better future as you prepare yourself to become an educator in the whole world. Honestly speaking, I cannot say no to this assignment. I consider this as an assignment given by my former professor for my graduate studies, uh, Sir Zamora, and also my former classmate in the graduate school, your dean. Uh, Thank you very much. It's very hard to say no, and it's also an opportune time for me to share. As I told JP, I'm not here to lecture. I'm not here to give you to read something from the book, but to share my experiences on how these two aspects of life, like academics and mental health, should blend well together in this time of pandemic. We are in a very abnormal situation where abnormality is the norm of the time. When we say abnormality, abnormality in the change or in the course of, the change in the behavior as influenced by the kind of situation that we are all in. As an educator, I have always believed that uh, no matter what the situation is, education should still prevail. Even in the history of, in the Bible, education, teaching happened even in the not so formal place, not in the four walls of the buildings. It happened anywhere, no, JP?
Yes, sir.
Hindi lang siya kailangang ang edukasyon ay maging formal at kailangang ang guro ay nasa unahan ng kanyang mga estudyante para magkaroon ng formal na leksyon o kaganapan sa loob ng klase. As a former teacher, I still am a teacher, but I'm talking about when I was a high school teacher, I used to bring out my children out of the classrooms for them, to realize that the four walls of the classrooms are temporary spaces. What is more important is the application of what one learns, of what one gets out of the instructions, teachings given to him by his or her teachers, professors for that matter, in college or in the graduate school. Friends, I am starting with the kind of experience that I have had when I was a literal teacher. I was handling a lot. JP, yung estudyante namin, hindi sa ganitong panahon na you only have 40 in a classroom. But before, during our time, like in the late 90s, you had 80 students, 70 students, regular na yung 60 plus in a classroom. And I can recall how I struggled just to let everyone participate in the activities and in the discussion, because I have always believed that, as a teacher, I should not only stay in front of the children and sit. Kasi ako masyado akong artista, JP. I was never contented sitting and, writing something on the board and let my students copy the lessons. I wanted to involve everyone, even those at the back. Kasi 'di ba, JP, dati yung mga panahon sa pagtuturo, the students were grouped according to competency level. Like you have group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. And kawawa yung nasa row 4, tapos nasa last seat pa siya or chair, and katabi yung mga basurahan. Can you imagine the kind of like identity that that particular student has developed all throughout his life, na sa lahat ng subject na tapos yung taon, ang katabi niya ay isang basurahan kasi nga siya yung poorest academically sa classroom. And I thought of something like, bakit ganito ang sistema natin, no? So, for a number of years, I volunteered, JP, sa former principal ko. Napakabait na principal, si Mrs. Consuelo Panesa ng Pag-asa National High School. Sabi ko, Madam, can I be given the last section? Because JP, noong panahon, pag sinabing last section, ang composition niyan, yung mga talagang academically needy, and meron din yung mga transferees. And kung minsan, yung mga transferees, may mga magagaling din. I really wanted to to see what was going on in that particular composition or in that group. Kaya sabi ko, Madam, sige naman po, bigyan mo naman ako ng last section. Sabi niya, no, hindi yan papasa. Sabi ko, bakit naman po, Madam? Kasi English ka ng English. Natawa ako and I replied, sabi ko, syempre po, Madam, kasi ang subject ko English. Kasi JP, for a number of years, I was given the first sections in different levels. Sabi ko naman, parang nahihirapan na din ako. And tsaka, gustong-gusto ko talaga malaman ano ba nangyayari doon sa loob ng last sections na yon. So, happily, I was given after a number of years na nakikimaherak ako, natawan ako. And JP, literally, I was totally shocked to realize that in my class composed of more than 60 students, there were those who could not read, JP. I remembered one of the students, when I asked him to read something that I wrote on the board, hindi talaga siya nakabasa. So I gave him time, but to no avail. So I conducted a reading assessment, and to my surprise, from among my more than 60 students, 5 were literally non-readers. Literally non-readers. Sabi ko, bakit kaya ito nakarating dito? Well, anyway, I could not blame these children nor blame the former teachers kasi nandun na yun, di ba? So what I did was to provide individualized instruction. Hindi pa uso yan na individualized instruction, JP, pero I already introduced that. So, like when my topic was about adjectival modifiers, I would ask my question, how could these students from B, C, D understand what adjectival modifiers are? Hindi nga nakakabasa yung, so iba. So I had to hop from one group to another just to provide individualized instruction. Like when you belonged to group A, so adjectival modifier ka kasi yun ang nakalagay sa competency ng fourth year, for example. And then I had to hop from another group. These are adjectives. What can you say about that? What can you say about this? It's beautiful, it's inspiring, and so on. Okay. And then I had to hop from another. Okay, these are sentences. These are like that. And last group, well, I would meet them after classes and provide reading intervention activities. And at the end of the year, it was something that was very significant in my time as a classroom teacher because at least I was able to let everyone participate despite the the limited like they were incapacitated. Some were incapacitated to participate because they did not have the command of the language. But even those who belonged to the last section, they all spoke in English because I provided the kind of orientation. I told them, uh, you will speak in English. You will try so hard to speak in English. Nga, sir, hindi, dahil man nga kami taratao, when else and where else are you going to learn? So you start from here. And when we laugh at some mistakes that you might commit, it's okay. That's not a personal something. No, no, no. Hindi yan insulto. Kaya everybody in the class, my class was very noisy. One time, uh, one of my students was shouting, "Sir, sir, why are you shouting? Sir, it's very hot." "What do you mean?" "I'm afraid that you are very hot." "What do you mean when you are hot?" Mainitun sir in Bicol." "Oh, you know, friends, hot is something that you touch. This is hot, that's hot. But when it's feeling, you say, you feel warm." Then everybody was copying me with my, ginagaya yung bunganga ko, yung pagsalita. And then, one time, it was not my class. And then one of my students' heads went out of the window. Kasi 'di ba ang karamihan ng mga windows noon, binigyan ng gobyerno ng napakagandang paaralan, sinisira, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Sinisira. So, yung ulo niya freely nakalabas sa bintana. "Sir, why are you shouting again? Sir, it's very warm." And then I replied and I told him, "You fan yourself." And we were all shouting. Now, ano na yun eh, he looks older than I am. Pero whenever we see each other, ganun yung joke namin. "Sir, I feel warm." "You fan yourself." So ganun yung uh, the kind of instruction that we provided to our learners until such time that because of the the change in
Yeah.
the situations, no? 'Di ba? Sabi nga, 'di ba, this is already passé. The only thing that is constant is change,
Change. Yeah.
JP.
That's
Yes, yes.
true.
So, nagbago. Nagbago ng curriculum, naging K-12. And nakakope naman yung mga estudyante, kasama na yung mga magulang, hanggang dumating ang isang hindi naman natin na
Inaasam.
inaasahan. And ito, JP, 'di ba? Ito yung
Pandemic.
yeah, yung pandemic that totally changed everything. Whoever thought of that? Nobody ever thought of this, JP. 'Di ba? Nakita lang natin ito sa mga
So,
sa mga pelikula.
yes.
My goodness. Kasi noon, 'di ba, ang mga fiction, akala natin fiction, hindi totoo, hindi yan mangyayari. But it is happening now. What we saw and what we read from the fiction, nangyayari na, JP. But hindi pwede na porket may pandemya, we will stop
From learning.
from learning. Hanggat nandito tayo, kahit anuman ang sitwasyon, magkakaroon at patuloy pa rin ang edukasyon. Sabi nga ni DepEd Secretary Leonor Magtolis, education must continue. Education must continue. And I would always add, regardless of, despite of, and in spite of. And to me, and for me, I call this kind of curriculum that we are all in, tinatawag ko siya, JP, na pandemic curriculum. Well, you have the K-12 curriculum, di ba?
Yeah.
But for me and to me, it's pandemic curriculum. And why? Why am I very emphatic about using the word pandemic? Because this pandemic should provide us strategies on or interventions on how education should still continue. Di ba? Naalala mo ba, JP, nung mag-i-enroll kayo ng for second year? Second year ba?
Yeah, second year.
You are second year now?
Third year.
Third year, yung mag-enroll ka ng third year,
Mhm.
'di ba? Can you tell me something about what were your fears bago ka nag-enroll?
Actually,
Closer to the mic.
hello, sir. Actually, sir, ang nangyari yung pandemic, last year, I was second year and it was during our second semester. Then, after that po, nagkaroon na ng online classes and nag-announce na rin for the upcoming third year, nung nag-third year na po, nag-enrollment, there was a lot of things that bothers in my mind. And of course, first, I was afraid kasi kahit sino naman po matatakot mag-aral, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. But of course, since the online classes was implemented, I decided po na mag-enroll pa rin and i-continue yung pag-aaral ko. Kasi I believe na hindi naman porke pandemic, I should stop and stay at home.
Yes.
Kasi
And yeah, sige.
kasi while staying at home, you can also work or attend online classes. And at the same time, of course, you should know how to balance and manage your time. Kasi sa aming mga working student, napaka-importante that we have this time management. Kasi pag hindi ka marunong sa ganito, of course, marami talagang problems ang may encounter mo. Lalong-lalo na kapag nakaranas ka na ng stress, anxiety, and depression.
Wow. I'm so inspired by what you said. You are a working student.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by that?
Before, sir, I was working in a call center company, but nag-start yung pandemic, nag-decide po ako ng other online jobs. Like before, I was doing online tutorial. Then I am managing my time. Like for example, my schedule at work is 7 a.m. I ended my work like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Then the time po kasi ng pagklase namin in DCOMC is different from other school. So we have the morning shift, we have also the night shift. So I belong po sir sa night shift.
Wow. JP, I'd like to tell our audience, JP is an inspiration. Imagine, no? Even with this pandemic, he is working at the same time in school. Grabe, grabe. I am so inspired by you, JP. And I hope that those na wala they have the prize, the privilege of, not working as a student. I hope they get much inspiration from you. Please don't forget JP as a working student. And I know that there are also some of your classmates who are working also part-time.
Yes, sir. Actually, sa block po namin, sa year namin, actually, parang natipon po yung lahat ng mga working student. And I actually feel sad for them kasi most of them cannot comply. They cannot comply the requirements or the activities and outputs.
Yes. I'll suspend that, JP, later pag-uusapan
Yeah,
natin
sige.
yan. So, very good talaga na nandito ka. And ako din nakaka-relate kasi sa school namin, sa Legazpi City National High School, JP, we also have student teachers. And the group of student teachers are actually yung mga nag-stop baga temporarily and now they are back in school.
Yes.
And I would like to congratulate them kasi this week yung end ng kanilang student teaching. So, kahit nga 'di ba wala kaming estudyante, physical students in school, we have student teachers. So that's how we are, trying to strategize na hindi pwede porket walang estudyante sa loob ng paaralan, yung student teachers titigil.
Yes.
So paano naman yung future nila? No? Wow, nakaka-excite, parang binibigay na natin yung mga intervention sa kanila. So thank you JP for that, no? So nandito na tayo, naka-enroll ka na and okay sa'yo kasi naka-enroll ka na, you are independent. But for those na like may mga high school, and there are JP, there are students whose parents are not here.
Yes, that's true, sir.
And sometimes, yung ibang estudyante namin, JP, wala silang guardians. Yung magkakapatid lang sila. Like, we have a 14-year-old who is the eldest, and wala yung mga magulang, mga nanonood po. Tapos yung lola and lolo nasa kabilang bahay. So hindi sila sa iisang bahay. So can you imagine the dilemma that these children are facing? One time, sabi ko, bakit wala siyang sinubmit? Bakit bagsak itong estudyante? Ngayon sir, sabi ng teacher, ng advisor, lahat ba? Sabi ko, hindi nagsubmit. Opo. Sabi ko, grabe naman. until such time that I kind of research the conducted kung ano ba yung context ng estudyante, yung kultura ng estudyante sa bahay nila, doon nalaman ko. And then the advisor conducted a home visit. We call it bisita in our school. Doon niya nalaman. So, if we teachers are immersed, if we know the stories of our children, malalaman natin kung anong ibibigay nating intervention. 'Di ba? Hindi nakasubmit. Ganyan, pagagalitan na, binagsak na kaagad. 'Di ba, JP?
Yes, sir. Actually, it
Ah,
happened.
friends, hindi po sa pagmamayabang, I always feel like it is my moral obligation and responsibility, not only as part of my job and trabaho ko na kailangan kong magturo, but more than that, I have to know the contexts, the stories of all my children in my class, JP. Hindi yung kilala ko lang ikaw, kasi ikaw lang yung magaling, kasi ikaw lang yung mayaman, kasi ikaw lang yung gwapo, ikaw lang yung malinis. Paano naman yung iba, JP, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So lalo nga yung iba ang approach natin sa education, nahirapan talaga masyado ang ating mga kaguruan, JP, no? And of course, the learners themselves, kasama na kayo doon na college. And ang sinasabi nating nahirapan, yung transition, biglang transition ng the usual that we did in normal classroom or school setup.
Yeah.
And then ngayon, we have the distance learning. Pag-usapan natin na lang, madaliin natin itong distance learning, no, na tinatawag, yung you have the modular. Ito is this radio-based instruction, or RBI.
Yes, sir.
And thank you so much to D-Way. It's actually my first time here and I want to come back. I want to partner. Actually, partner din ng DepEd Legazpi ang D-Way from 4 to 5 in the afternoon. And nakaka-enjoy pala talaga dito. Not because I feel like I am a radio announcer or an anchor, parang artista, but this is kind of a new strategy to continue education.
Yes, sir. That's
Oo,
true.
'di ba? So, ganun, no? Yung first quarter, nahirapan talaga yung mga bata. There were a number of students who did not submit outputs, no? Sa inyo din, JP, ganun din? Nangyari din ba?
Yes, sir. And actually, sir, hindi lang sir nagsubit ng output. Karamihan din, sir, nag-stop.
Oh.
So, they decided to stop na lang ng pag-aaral nila kasi they don't have the enough resources like the internet that they need in doing the online classes. Kaya, yun din po, sir, yung struggles na meron karamihan sa mga estudyante before pa nag-start yung pasukan.
Yes, oo. And then, your institution, including ours, thought of how we can still reach out, di ba?
Yes,
So,
sir.
you have the modules provided. Merong, noon nga, akala ng mga estudyante, pag may ganito ng cellphone, pwede na sila sa online class. So, hindi po, di ba? Can you imagine, babasahin mo dito yung mga assignments ni teachers, tapos parang, it's so tiring, sobrang nakakapagod at nakaka-stress. Ako nga talaga, nai-stress ako sa ganito mismong no?
Ganitong sitwasyon.
Ganitong sitwasyon, babasahin ko dito, tapos mawawala.
Yes,
Paano
sir.
kung wala kang load, no? May load ka naman, wala naman,
Signal.
walang
Yung signal
signal,
lang.
mahina yung internet.
Yeah.
And these are actually what we call stressors. So friends, yung mga nakikinig dyan at nanonood, ang dami-daming stressors ngayong pandemic na ito. And paano ba natin ito ina-address, no? Paano natin ina-address ang mga stressors na ito? Nandyan yung stress. I'm talking about now as learners.
Yes.
Stressors sa mga learners, sa inyo, JP. Like, stressor. Nandyan na pag may online class, di ba? May online class. Number one stressor, poor connection.
Yes,
Or poor
that's true.
internet connectivity. Excited ka, di ba? Kasi makikita mo yung crush mo, JP. Tapos, si teacher mo, excited din si teacher. Hanggang bigla, nagbigay na si teacher ng preliminaries. Good morning, class! Nag-freeze bigla si teacher. Tapos kayo nag-PM lahat, nagtawanan na and so on.
Yeah.
No, no, no. So, hindi kayo ang na-stress kundi si teacher. At dahil stress si teacher, pagbalik ni teacher, iba na ang mukha ni teacher. 'Di ba? Natural 'yan. Lalo kung si teacher hindi marunong mag mag-cover up.
Mm.
Oo, oo. Kasi 'di ba yung teachers kahit galit na galit ka na dapat sa harapan ng klase
Yeah.
naka-smile ka pa rin. Yes,
May poise pa rin.
Hindi ako galit sa inyo. Kayo mga parang ganon, 'di ba? So if the teachers are also stressed, like sa online, pag-usapan natin ang online.
Mhm.
Yung on the part naman of the students, 'di ba? Excited si student kasi sa online napakaganda kung titingnan mo, like 'di ba? It's so easy for an online student to research.
Yes.
And then gagawa siya ng presentation, nandiyan na yung sa mag-google lang siya, and daming applications, tapos i-share niya, makikita, wow, the best. Dati hindi natin ito ginagawa, pero na-realize natin, pwede pala. And we have developed our talents in information, communication, and technology, di ba?
Yeah.
O kahit si teacher nag-level up din. Kasi sabi ng mga school administrators, all online teachers should know how to have the Google Classroom,
Classroom,
Google Meet,
Zoom.
Dati, nagkaroon din ako ng stress niyan, JP, yung first time. Kasi we were meeting through this media. Sabi ko, paano ba to? But ako naman, very positive ako. Isa akong tao na I don't look at problems or challenges as problems or challenges na. I take it as like something for me to learn. It's a learning opportunity. Natuto ako. So, marunong na ako ngayon. Dati nagpapaturo ako whenever yung first time ko mag-speak ako sa national, I was invited to talk about inclusive education with virtual audience. Nawala ako, JP. Mabuti na lang at natawagan ko yung teacher na malapit lang. Kasi I want to become independent sa mga ganito. Kasi I believe na when I know already, kailangan magamit ko kaagad. But kailangan pa din natin ng tulong, JP.
Yeah.
We need support. So there should be a support system. Kaya ang sinasabi ko dito, JP, when we want to manage well our stressors, we have to have somebody. Yung confident mo, di ba? Yung parang hindi lang best friend. Somebody you can share your stress about. JP, nauuyamon ako sa sa klase kong sa online. What is beautiful with anxiety is when you are able to express that. When you are able to express and let it out of your emotions, wow, you learn a lot.
So, importante po, sir, that you have someone to talk to.
Yes, importante yan. Hindi mo siya pwedeng dibdibin.
Yeah.
Unlike before, di ba, JP, yung wala pang pandemic, pag may crush ka, walang nakakaalam kasi parang pagtatawanan ka or pag nalaman ng crush mo, hindi ka na magpapakita. Pero ngayon kailangang masabi mo or else, JP.
Habang boy, single.
Hindi. Sobra ka naman, JP. My goodness, pinapatamaan mo ko ha. I am married. Yeah, I am married. I have a lot of children. I am married by my profession. With my profession.
Wow.
And my children are thousands. Nag-graduate na sila. Ang dami-dami na rin ng professionals. Seriously, JP. When you are able to let out of your emotions, pero kailangan din syempre yung there should be trust between you
and that person.
And the person. Importante po yun. Hindi yung sasabihin mo kaagad kasi you need somebody to share your emotions. Hindi, kailangang pagsasabihan mo din yung tinitiwalaan mo.
Yeah.
Kasi that will create another problem.
Yeah.
That will create another stress, di ba? May sasabihin ako sa iyo pero wag mong sasabihin sa iba ha. Ay sinabi. Pinamalita sa lahat, sa GC. Oh, what is at stake? The relationship. And when relationship is at stake, it's quite hard to bring back the
Yeah.
trust. But I have learned through my enormous experiences, JP, you don't put a stop to a relationship. You don't put a stop to a relationship. Because if you do, you become unhappy. You become unhappy. I'm telling you that. And to our audience, uh, I know that you are like most of our audience, JP, are probably college students, no? So they are still in the level where uh, maturity, professional maturity is being developed. So ako, I have been developed by the volume of experiences provided to me, the opportunities. And what it what makes one happy and contented, JP, is yung you have peace of mind. You have peace of mind because you allow others to see your weakness. And when others see your weakness and let them help you, there is fruitful partnership. Ang ganda, JP.
Yeah.
Kaya hindi mo pwedeng akuin. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang. You need somebody or others. So, kailangan ma-develop natin ngayon sa panahong ito na still the social skills, communication is very important. You may not talk
Every day.
every day, but you have naman the like cell phone, you can PM each other, and if you have the load, mag-video call kayo, 'di ba? Mag-video call kayo. And then patibayan kayo ng TikTok kung sino mas pinakamagaling. These are stress relievers, JP.
Yeah.
We need relievers, areas, time for us to let go of our yung mga pressures dito.
Yeah.
Pag maraming pressure sa loob, Diyos ko, JP, masikip sa mabigat sa
Mabigat.
damdamin. And ako naman, jokingly, JP, sabi ko, pag ang isang tao palaging stressed, JP, tandaan mo to pag ang isang tao palaging stressed, hindi marunong magdala ng stress kasi hindi alam kung saan niya ito ilalabas. Tingnan mo ang mukha niyan, matigas. Parang palaging galit. And ang mukha niya hindi masaya. And naging habit niya na, naging way of life, ganyan na yung mukha niya, hard na. So hanggang na-develop niya, yung pag-express niya ng happiness, inhibited na siya, JP. Hanggang yung stress niya, pumasok na dito sa veins niya, pumasok na dyan sa brain, inatake siya, JP. So, hahayaan ba natin na itong stress na ito na ibinibigay ng panahon ng pandemya ay
manaig?
Yeah. At akuin ang bagay na hindi pa dapat. 'Di ba? We have to be happy. Life is beautiful. Everybody says life is short. Kaya life is short. Yeah, kailangang masaya tayo. And the next advice that I can give our viewers, JP, and even you, you target what you want. Work for that, for what you want. But do not be very, very serious, especially in this time of pandemic. What I'm trying to say, friends, is, syempre, like JP probably might have a target. He wants to graduate with flying colors. No? He wants to graduate cum laude. So, JP, ganun pa din yung objective mo. But find time to relax.
Yeah.
Find time to unwind. Do a yoga. Sing with your family members. Kasi bawal, di ba? Bawal mag-video okay sa labas. Magkumanta ka, mag-isa ka sa banyo, sumayaw ka, mag-exercise ka, mag-zumba ka after waking up in the morning. And isang bagay na natutunan ko, JP, dito sa pandemic, as as one of my stress relievers, I learned how to religiously take care of my plants.
Mm.
Naging plantito ako. Naging plantito ako. But it made my day brighter. Uh, my days were refreshed because in front of me are
Fresh,
refreshing,
yeah.
refreshing plants. So 'di ba? Ang buhay natin, ang attitude natin and our emotions are actually influenced by the things that surround us.
Surrounds, yeah.
Kaya halimbawa sa bahay niyo na lang, ang dami-daming kalat. Oh, what do you expect 'pag maraming-maraming kalat? Parang, ay matiun, ay makalatog,
Masamukon.
masamukon. Iyon na, nagpirmi na nagkukunot so
No.
noo mo and that becomes part of your system. 'Di ba? So, we have to learn how to be silent. Let us be silent for a moment, not only during prayer time. Halimbawa, maupo ka nakaupo ka sa sala nyo, tapos lumingon-lingon ka, tumingin-tingin ka sa kung ano nakapalibot sa'yo. I think I can still do something about this. May pintura pa lamang kita dyan. Di ba? You make yourself
Yes.
busy. Make yourself busy. And eto, this should not be your best friend. Your cell phone should not be your best friends. Why? Because if you make these cell phones as your best friends, from the time that you are already very sleepy,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you wake up like 3 o'clock, you go to the CR, the first thing that you get is
Your
the cell
cell phone,
phone. Then
yeah.
open, see whether there are messages or
Yeah.
not. And then when you wake up again like 7 or 8 in the morning, it's the first thing that
Yeah.
you get. And then when you go to the CR,
You bring.
you bring, di ba? You bring. Even while you are doing your thing, you are bringing this. You are reading. And then during breakfast,
While
kasabay
eating,
mo
yes.
while eating, hanggang it becomes part of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So, you become less productive. While cell phones may help you relieve your stress, but hindi natin namamalayan na kinakain na pala tayo nito.
Yes, that's true, sir. That's true. Kasi I can observe din, sir, na some of the families that we have here, instead of having a personal communication or conversation, they do focus on the cell phone. So, ibig sabihin, nawawala na sila ng time sa isa't isa. Kahit nasa harap na ng hapagkainan, ang hawak nila is cellphone pa rin.
Yes, that is very true. And then the bonding time
Mhm.
supposedly, 'di ba? Among the family members nawawala na.
Yes.
Nawawala na. And sometimes to some families, they don't eat together anymore. No, 'di ba?
Yes.
Kasi ay hindi pa tapos, ML pa ako. Okay lang sana kung ML, your brother or your father, even your mother can play ML together, 'di ba?
Yes.
Pero dapat may rules tayo. Kaya nga I'd like to provide now specific suggestions or ways on how we can really combat stress para mas maganda pa din ang ating mental health. Sinasabi na we have to create a learning space that is separate from a space for play and family time. Iba ang lugar dapat sa family time, iba ang lugar sa play,
Yeah.
no? Like sa sala, you have a television set.
Mm-hmm.
Pag TV time, TV time.
Yes.
TV time, walang cellphone. So there should be fixed rules. Tinatawag natin pag may mga seminars, there should be house rules. Like sa bahay, ako no, I have grandchildren at home who really watch cartoons most of the time. But number one rule sa akin, pag news na,
Doon na yung
wala na.
Yes.
Sila
Stop
ibibigay
it.
na sa akin,
Yeah.
i-change na nila yung channel.
Minsan.
So kailangang may rules tayo, no? So that we can delineate time for the family where we can talk about your crushes, No, 'di ba?
Yes, sir.
Oh, bakit tayo matatakot na sabihin mo sa magulang mo or sa parents na, Dad, Papa, crush ko si Arog kang ini." 'Di ba? So, it builds a more harmonious relationship among the family members. Pero kung wala naman na you are not uh, expressive, then yun na nga, babalik na naman
Yes.
tayo na you are secretive.
Sasarilinin.
Sasarilinin mo naman. Kaya JP, 'di ba? Parang there was a period in time na tumaas dramatically yung number of individuals committing suicide
Yes.
because they did not have the avenue, or I think they did not trust.
Mhm.
They did not trust someone na ma-share nila yung kung ano yung nararamdaman nila, maybe because they are afraid. Kaya nga sabi ko, kailangang alam natin ang kwento ng bawat isa. 'Di ba sa grupo niyo, JP, merong may napakaingay, merong hindi nag-iingay, merong nag-i-English pero nagtatawanan kayo
Yes.
kasi mali-mali.
Mm.
Pero sa grupo nyo, accepted siya.
Yes.
Kasi nga, you understand and
Yes.
accept each other. Dapat ganun tayo. No?
Accept and respect.
Yeah. Importante yan. Ako baga, JP, I am a passionate advocate of inclusive education. Kaya nga, baga, ang Legazpi City National High School, formerly Pag-asa National High School, we are a model school on inclusive education. Tapos, we have learners with disabilities. So, kailangang dito, the first thing that you should do is to tell yourself that he is like that.
Yeah.
And second, number 2 is accept.
Yeah.
And number 3, help.
Mm.
Understand, accept,
Help.
support. Yun lang naman. You may not necessarily be disabled physically, but like, when you are stressed, how will your family members, how will your friends understand you if you do not tell them, if you do not let them know, diba? That's very important. And also, JP, it is important that, sabi ko nga, there has to be rules. There has to be rules among your friends. There has to be rules in the family. Pag sinabing 6:30 eating time. Pag sinabing 10 o'clock, sleeping time, wala nang manonood ng TV. Kahit umiyak pa ang bunso. Kahit umiyak ang bunso, JP, na kasi gustong gumamit ng cellphone, kailangang stop. We have to be consistent in our rules.
And we should not tolerate them. Kasi if we do that, sir, baga, syempre, parang hinahayaan lang natin sila. Kaya yung mga bata, parang na-spoiled sila na gawin yun.
Yes,
Kaya pag konting stop mo lang, umiiyak or kung anong ginagawa na ano.
Yes, very important. Also, with regard to your academic activity, yung kayo po, yung mga nanonood, 'di ba meron naman kayong mga GCs? Meron ba kayong mga GCs, JP?
Yes, sir. By block po, sir.
By block.
Mhm.
So, may rules dapat kayo doon. Hindi pwede kung ano lang na sasabihin. Mag-set kayo ng rules. Halimbawa, yung president, may announcement. Hindi pwedeng mag-like na as another like.
Mhm.
Mag-like lang doon sa post. Kasi imagine, especially when you want to
backread.
Backread, ang hirap.
Mag-scroll.
Oo, another rule. If it's an English class, for instance, dapat English. Kahit mali-mali, basta English. There has to be rules, no? Remember, anyway, there are many ways to skin a cat. Kaya kailangang may rules tayo to follow. Do not be afraid of contacting your teachers or your professors for that matter. Sa high school kasi and elementary, the parents are the ones doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I were the teacher, hindi ako maiinis na yung parent palagi na lang akong chinachat about sa performance ng bata or ano yung progress ng bata. We should not develop that. The more that we should be happy because the parents are so concerned about their children. No? Oh, one time, JP, nalaman na lang ng parent, nabagsak pala yung bata. Hindi mapopromote. Sabi ko, Madam, hindi po kayo nag-attend ng meeting. Hindi kayo nag-inquire sa teachers. Ano ko si JP na, iyo po, Madam, dai pong signature ang card. Pag walang signature, ibig sabihin, hindi nabasa ng magulang yung card. And it's too late. Wag na nating hintayin na too late. Sayang ng opportunities, JP. Sayang ng isang taon. Tapos mag-repeat ka na naman. Kaya sa mga students ng Daraga Community College, kung talagang walang-wala na, hindi na kaya ng magulang, siguro naman alisin natin ng konti yung hiya. Ginawa ni JP, nag-apply ng trabaho, no? Maghanap tayo. Sayang ng opportunities. And I remember a number of my students who were also struggling so hard just to graduate. And now they are successful. Far successful than I am. And that makes me very happy as a former teacher. Another one is promote consistency with sleep. The problem kasi ngayon when you have the gadgets, especially ano ba yung pinagkakaabalahan ng mga teenagers?
Yung Mobile Legends.
Hindi, yung pang Mobile Legend. Yung mga K-pop ba yun? Ano ba yun? Mga something?
Mga K-pop?
Oo.
Wattpad, sir.
Oh, yun.
Yes, Wattpad.
They don't have rules as to what time they would sleep. Dapat meron tayong rules like na dapat 11 kahit part 2 pa lang ito, bitin na. Especially sa Netflix. Nahook din ako sa Netflix. Sabi ko, bakit hindi ito natatapos? Na-realize ko, 3 hours na pala ako nakatutok. Dapat pala, ang pinapanood ko yung parang series.
Yes,
yung parang series. Kasi once na nahuka, lalo baga, yung mga babae, karamihan sa mga babae ngayon, teenagers, hook na hook sa mga...
Wattpad talaga, sir.
Oo.
Even my sister, sir, ganun.
Grabe. So, pag nakalimutan na natin yan, wala tayong consistency sa tulog. Syempre, natural na sa magulang mo, especially if like your house is everything. When I say your house is everything, JP, the house is the sala set, o the sala, the house is the kitchen, the house is the dining room and all. So, syempre, maingay. Ikaw naman, kulang yung tulog mo, maiingayan ka, magdadabog ka. And what is now at stake? The respect. Yeah. The respect of the child.
To the parents. Or
to
hindi
the lang,
siblings.
Hindi lang sa parents. To the siblings. Kasi ang respect naman, hindi natin sinasabi na magre-respect lang tayo sa nakakatanda sa atin. We respect everyone regardless of the status. No? So, we have to develop consistency of sleep. Kahit ayaw pa nating matulog tayo. You know what I do? Ginagawa ko na lahat kasi pag may time talaga, especially when I'm excited because there is an upcoming activity the next day, what I do, JP, is yung naranasan mo ba yung nagbibilang ng mga kabayo? Yung mga tumatakbong kabayo, bibilangin mo daw. Pag hindi pa yun, I pray. I pray. Hanggang namalayan ko, nakatulog na ako kasi nagising na ako. So, we should form a habit, no? And then, other practical tips would include like, not putting too much pressure on the children.
Totoo yan,
yes. However, there is this question po. If you do not put pressure on an assignment or activity, how do you blend now the activity and then the submission? The submission.
You mean, sir, in my part?
Sir? Okay.
So for me sir, 'pag nagbigay na po ng activities or outputs ang mga professors namin, iniisa-isa ko if sino po yung unang magju-due date. Kasi may ano po baga sila sir, may schedule ng ng submission po or
Opo.
date. So yun po, ang pina-prior ko po is kung sino yung mauna, yun po ang fino-focus ko muna. Para
Hmm.
hindi parang mina-manage ko po siya pa isa-isa. So hindi ako kahit hindi pa naman ano, hindi ko naman sinasabi na bukas pa gawin. I mean, dapat alam mo po sir yung parang pasunod-sunod.
Yes, kaya nga sinasabi natin may schedule.
Mhm.
Ah, sorry for this po mga nakikinig kasi yung iba naman kasi po inaabuso yung pagbibigay ng maluwag na schedule.
Hmm.
Kasi halimbawa, dapat ganito, bukas ang submission, sasabihin, ay, ang dami-dami pa bang ginagawa. Okay, let us understand them kasi baka na-stress na yung mga
Hmm.
bata, baka nape-pressure. Pero ang totoo, yung ibang mga bata, may time naman talaga, hindi
Yes.
naman ginagawa. Kasi kailangang it should be a partnership between and among the family members. Ikaw JP halimbawa, kahit kung nagbo-board ka JP, mag-isa ka lang, you can have the schedule posted
Mhm.
on one part of your room.
Yes.
Oo, may
I have it
schedule
sir.
ka. Yes, very good. Doon naman sa bahay-bahay po, dapat alam ng magulang kung ano yung schedule ng bata. Like for this Monday, anong subject, up to, and what time lang. And parents, wag niyo naman pong pipigain ang bata na talagang, yung bata talagang ano na siya, sleepy na kasi afternoon.
Hmm.
Hindi pa tapos. Tapusin mo yan. We can never force the child to come up with something that is productive, 'di ba? Kasi nga iniba ni pandemya ang ating panahon.
Kailangan matuto tayong mag-adjust.
Oo, kailangan mag-adjust tayo and sa pag-a-adjust, ito na yung one of our strategies, 'di ba?
Yes.
We set the schedule. For Friday, kahit walang module, kasi 'di ba nagkaroon tayo ng problema sa pandemic, like for a particular week, masyadong mataas ang number of cases. So, hindi kami nagdi-distribute ng modules or learning activity sheets. So, we have to suspend.
Yes.
Pero kahit na po walang module ang mga bata, pag sinabing Friday and subject na is 1 to 3 in the afternoon, MAPE, dapat yung bata may gagawin sa MAPE.
Hmm.
So, any member in the family should be able to assist, support the child. Na, MAPE, ano ang pwede mong gibuon sa MAPE? Magburbayli ka na ngayon, magkurukanta ka, magburo video okay ka. So that's part of MAPE. At least, yung consistency ng schedule, hindi nakakalimutan.
Hmm.
No? That's one of the challenges in the Department of Education, JP. Kasi kung minsan halimbawa hindi pa na-produce yung modules or yung learning activity sheets, so may gap.
Yes.
Pero kahit po may gap, basta may schedule ka sa bahay na nakapost yan, hoy, 10 o'clock na, it's Wednesday, ang subject mo ay ESP. Diba? So gawa ka ng ano. Wala man ngayon kaming assignment, kahit wala kayong assignment. So,
Something related.
the habit of studying
Mhm.
is developed. Just like when you also develop the habit of reading. No? Reading is very essential. Kaya tutulungan ng mga magulang, ng mga kapatid na ma-develop ng bata or ng estudyante ang habit for love for reading. Any reading material available. Wag lang yung mga ano, 'di ba? Kasi there are naman restrictions.
Yes.
So, yung reading materials ninyo dapat kumbaga for general patronage.
Mhm. Actually sir sa ano kasi Wattpad, hindi naman siya gano'n. Meron din bawal pa dapat siya sa mga, minor.
Yes, kaya importante talaga na malaman ng mga magulang ang activities ng mga bata. Hindi mo na siya hindi na namo-monitor ng parents kasi nga yung schedule hindi ini-implement sa
Mhm.
bahay na dapat pag 10 o'clock wala na. I know of one parent, si Miss Karina Belleca, teacher ng Araling Panlipunan sa Legazpi City National High School. Pag 10 o'clock, nakikita niya pa ang mga bata na nag-internet, inaalis niya ang connection ng
Yes.
internet.
You
Yeah.
know,
Kasi there is still the temptation, especially if there is the poor control in time management. Di po ba mga friends, yung mga nanonood dyan, we have to discipline ourselves so that we are still healthy. And being healthy is healthy physically. Yung mental health kasi is also a product, an offshoot of physical health. Kung hindi tayo physical healthy, syempre hindi rin tayo mentally healthy.
yes.
Yun na nga ni, go back tayo. If you have a problem sa sleeping habit, hindi ka na mentally healthy. 'Di ba? Yung bata hindi kumakain sa tamang oras. Pag hindi kumakain sa tamang oras, ano ang na-develop na sa kanyang sistema? Hindi alam na may na-develop na palang illness,
Sakit, yes.
na sakit. May mga bata, I came across some readings na may mga bata na namatay. Ang ano pala, ang one of the causes is yung pagbasa
Sa,
na
sa cellphone.
sa
yes.
cellphone.
Kasi too much of radiation siya, sir.
Yes. Ngayon, hindi pa natin yan masyadong mararamdaman and makikita yung epekto.
Pagbata pa.
Oo, na we have been in this kind of situation for already more than a year. And ako personally, nakikita ko na influence sa atin, parang we have become less productive. Bakit we have become less productive? On my part, halimbawa, ako school principal, we are only allowed to report to school twice a week. Kasi nga tumaas yung positive cases. Sabi ko para akong nagigilty kasi pag sa bahay ka, tatanggap lang ako ng mga messages kung anong kailangan. Pero kung nasa school ka, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin. Ganon din yung teacher po, 'di ba? Merong work from home. Sa work from home, iba kasi there are temptations na maglalaba ka, magluluto. Well, you can do that while working.
Yes.
Hindi yung focus mo sa output mo, hindi siya yun lang talaga ang focus
Direct.
mo, direct. Ang dami-dami kang magagawa. Unlike when you are in school, ito yung gagawin mo, gagawa ka ng remediation program, gagawa ka ng activity sheets. Walang ibang nag-iistorbo sa iyo, walang ibang temptations, no? So, ako nga talaga, Sir JP, sabi ko sana matapos na ito. And before I had a fear sa vaccine. But sabi ko, I can only be cured of my anxiety, stress and fear sa COVID through vaccine. Ito ay aking personal na opinion. Kasi sabi ko, pag lumabas ka ng 'di ba, pupunta ka ng Manila, hanapan ka siguro ng
mga swab test.
Nung vaccine record, vaccination record. Pag syempre, the more na lalabas ka ng bansa, namimiss ko ng lumabas ng bansa, mas lalong kailangan, hindi na lang passport. Kaya sabi ko, kahit ako may phobia sa injection, titiisin ko para yung anxiety ko, I am not mentally healthy thinking of this vaccination too, di ba? But at least I have other coping mechanisms that allow me to become more positive in looking at how and what life should be. 'Di ba? Napaka importante ng kung ano ang pagtingin mo sa mga pangyayari. If you consider this pandemic as something that will let you down, then it will really let you down. But if you look at it at the other side, I don't care about you. COVID ka lang.
Yes.
I can still become what I am. 'Di ba? So, these are some of the practical tips through our conversation. Nag-enjoy ako actually. Kasi may nakukuha akong hugot galing mismo sa isang college student, sa isang learner.
Yes, sir.
And the more that experiential ang ating pinag-uusapan, hindi yung nabasa natin, hindi galing sa libro, but it's based on our stories,
Personal experience.
personal experiences. So I hope and pray na matapos na ito. And I hope and pray also that everyone, yung mga nanonood, would be able to really become more positive, no, in looking at problems, and you can also strategize para itong mga challenges na nangyayari sa atin ay maging bahagi ng ating hugot para magpatuloy pa rin tayo. I understand a lot of problems na kung minsan nga talaga it makes me feel so sad knowing that there are students who dropped,
Yes,
who
sir.
stopped because yung mga magulang nawalan ng trabaho, 'di ba?
Yes.
If we can only provide livelihood opportunities for this, but yun na nga no, sinira ni pandemic
Ni
yung
COVID.
niya,
Yes.
yung economic ano natin, economic activities. I met one person in a commercial store. Sabi ko, "Oh, you are new." Kasi palagi akong dumadaan. Sabi ko, "You are new here. Bakit mo po alam, sir?" Sabi ko, "Palagi ako nandito because tinitingnan ko kung may discount." Ah, "Anong year ka na?" Grade 12 po ako. Sabi niya, sabi ko, "Saan?" Sa Divine Word Ay, sorry. Ah, grade 12 daw siya. Sabi ko, "Why did you stop?" Kasi may babayaran daw.
Mm.
May babayaran. Dati may business sila. Ngayong nagkaroon ng pandemic,
Parang nalugi or
nawala
nawala.
na. Kasi nga, yung capital nila,
Mm.
nawala.
Nagastos, nagamit na sa
Yeah, para sa ibang bagay, sa pagkain. And now he is working. Sabi ko, sayang, sana mag-ipon ka yung mga makukuha mo sa sweldo mo and then you go back to school. Sayang.
Yes, sir. Actually, yun sir ang number one problem na kinakaharap ng mga student from our institution sa DCOMC. Kasi karamihan talaga sir is working student. So yun, yung mga na-experience nila, hindi lang sa work, kumbaga pinaghalo-halo na yung mga stress and problems na meron sila.
Ay, but of course, itong mga estudyanteng ito ay
Mga palaban.
mga palaban.
Yes.
Di ba? Palaban. Ngayon lang to eh. Ngayon lang to. Matatapos din to. Matatapos din. Kahit sa ano man, di ba? May dinadaanan tayong unos.
Mm-mm.
And walang problemang hindi
Nalalapasan.
correct. I like that. Exactly. So, wag kayong mawala ng pag-asa. And with all the things that we have shared, yung mga practical tips, you will help your friends even if they are in a situation where they feel so low, they feel so down, no? Yung ano mo lang, pag hi mo lang, uy, kumusta ka pa di? O ni bagang ngaya pa di, dae na ako nag-eskwela. Okay lang yan pa di. Next time, maano kita? May maabot pa yan. May maabot pa yan.
Dapat meron pa ring motivation.
May motivation. Nandyan ang awa.
Mm.
Nandyan ang awa. Naaawa tayo. But if we stop to that, doon na lang sa awa, wala.
Walang mangyayari.
Mas lalong binibigyan natin ng kahinaan ng loob
yung tao.
yung tao. Yes, padi. Natural na yan, padi. Dakulunon man ka na may nangyayari. Maabot pang aldaw. Magayon yan. Sige. Marinang una, maano lamang kita, makapi-kapi kita. Mauri-istoryahan lamang kita. Sabi nga, do not add insult to the injury. Nalugmok na nga, dadagdagan mo pa ng insulto. Dadagdagan mo pa ng yung tinatawag nating pagkaawa. We are not helping. We are not helping. Kailangang palakasin natin ang loob ng tao na kaya niya. Diyos ko, isang taon pa lang naman ito, yung iba nga ilang taon na, di ba?
Kung nakaya nila.
Oh, and they
Kaya
have
din
survived.
natin.
So, kayang-kaya natin ito. Ako nga, kinaya ko. Do you have other thoughts in mind, JP? Kung ngayon, like more than a year na tayo, How did you recover?
Actually, sir, at first, I experienced also stress. Many
Mm.
stress, sir. Hindi lang talagang stress. I came na, nandito na rin sa isip ko yung mga dapat gawin, mga hindi dapat gawin.
Yeah, yeah.
Kasi,
You tell more about it.
yes, uh, I am very afraid that time, especially when the pandemic started last year. Yung kung ang dami kong iniisip if what work, if I will still continue to go outside like
Mm-mm.
that, if I will still continue to study. Actually, sir, I decided already to stop, but I am very lucky that as of now, I am still here in my school, in my institution, because of some of my friends who are very careful, and they give more motivation na i-continue ko yung nasimulan ko. Kasi sir, to tell you honestly, I am a member of old curriculum po.
Mm-mm.
Hindi po ako nag-senior high.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yun po yung kagandahan kung bakit gustong-gusto ko ang DCOM, si Pandayan ng Pangarap. Kasi even na hindi ako kasama sa senior high, tinanggap kami. And
Wow.
right now, I'm one step closer to my dreams.
Oh, oh, grabe, oh. Look at my hair. I love that very much. You really are an inspiration. Kaya napakagaling talaga ni na dean at administrator. Ang galing nung ginawa nilang ano, yung mantra ng school.
Yes,
Dikomsi ang
Pandayan
pandayan
ng
ng pangarap.
Pangarap.
I love that so much, sir. The best kayo, the best kayo. Pinasok nyo yun hindi lang sa utak kundi sa puso ng mga estudyante na kahit may kahirapan man, may mga sagabal, may mga unos, patuloy pa rin sapagkat nandyan ang pangdayan ng pangarap. Nandyan kayo. Congratulations po sa inyo, sir, ha? Si Sir Zamora and
Sir Goyena.
si Sir Goyena,
Yes.
classmate ko siya. Grabe, idol na idol ko itong dalawa.
Same din po sir
Oh,
sa
kaya nga sabi ko, paano ba ako magre-refuse? Actually, it's the birthday of my apo today.
Mhm.
And I have another TV interview mamaya after
Mhm.
this. Sabi ko,
Wow, maraming salamat sir at pinaunlakan mo ang aming imbitasyon.
kaya sabi ko, it's really very hard to say no. And I always take this as something for me to, to promote my advocacy. And I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from you. I will tell people about you, JP. So what is this all about? Learning is not getting new knowledge from people who have high positions.
Mhm.
You learn even from those who are,
Younger.
yeah,
Mm.
from those who are not teachers,
Mhm.
from those who are along the streets. You learn a lot from them and they provide you lessons of life.
Yes.
Ito yung maganda, 'di ba?
Siyempre sir, learning is a continuous process. Hindi naman na binabasehan sa edad para ikaw ay matutunan sa pang-araw-araw.
So are you telling me that I'm old?
No sir, it's that grabe.
Just the lighter side of the conversation, JP.
Yes sir.
Oo, ako naman talaga ay joker. Oo. Yeah. Seriously,
Mm.
again, napakahalaga na you are able to look at things in
Mhm.
different perspectives.
That's true.
Hindi kung ano yung lang ang gusto mong tingnan, yun lang. Sabi nga, I have always emphasized this. You do not look at the individual trees. You look at
Mhm.
the forest.
Yes.
Titingnan mo yung kabuuan, hindi lang yung isang sitwasyon. Kaya, mga friends, mga nakikinig, marami tayong mga kasama sa ating pinagdadaanan, kung ano
Mhm.
man yan. Ang mahalaga, nandyan sila, naghihintay para makinig at malaman ang inyong kwento. And, there are very good strategists who do not force people who have anxieties, who have problems mentally. May mga siguro sa ano nila, in their years of experience, na master nila na kung how to inspire somebody to open up.
Mhm.
Mahirap kasi 'di ba mag-open up? Sorry for this, I am not inclusive, but mas madali ang mga babae mag-open up
Kesa sa mga
kaysa sa mga lalaki. Because kasi nga yung machismo image,
mhm.
'di ba? Once na lalaki ka,
Di ka pwede umiyak.
di ka pwede. Kaya nga hindi na I ano tayo no, I'd like to underscore inclusivity. Kaya hindi pwede yung sabi ko kanina, his her. Hindi
Mhm.
pwedeng his. Kasi it should be true to all.
Mm.
Inclusive should be the name of the game this time.
Mm.
'Di ba? Hindi pwede na ang paglalaba ay sa mom
Babae
yeah,
lamang.
sa mother.
Sa
Hindi
mga
pwede ang pag-iigib ay sa
kuya.
kuya o sa lalaki lang. Hindi pwede na ang pagluluto ay para sa babae lang. Kailangan maging inclusive tayo. So there should be no gender marks
Mhm.
or no or labels. Kaya nga 'di ba nauso yung naging ano yun? Women empowerment.
Yes.
Kasi before 'di ba
Ang babae ay sa bahay
sa
lamang.
bahay lang. Pero ngayon, hindi na siya it's actually a pasay statement.
Mm.
Pasay na siya. So hindi na siya issue. Diyan sa Legazpi, I see women driving tricycles. Dati pag nag-drive ki tricycle, ano nasa isip mo? Sa totoo lang.
Ay, yung babae po.
Oo.
Sir. Ano po sir, like mother, na hinatid niya yung anak niya. Ganyan.
Tricycle.
Yes sir.
Talaga?
Ay, wala pa ako sir actually yung actual na nakikitang nag-drive.
Okay. Kasi nga hindi inclusive, kahit sa mga expression, sabi ko, pag naglalambot-lambot ang lalaki,
Oo.
di bading yan,
Mm.
bading yan. Tatawagin ng mga kaklase, bading, bading, bading. Pero pag yung babae naman hard,
Tomboy.
hindi tinatawag na tomboy
Mm.
kasi natatakot sila.
Oo.
So, hindi inclusive ang ating pagtingin, no? Pag-treat sa individuals. Porke ba yung lalaki malumanay, kayang-kaya mo lang sigawan, tapos here is another one who appears to be very strong, takot ka.
Takot ka.
No. So where is the respect, 'di ba? So and respect is true to all. Respect is not about economic status. Respect is not about professional accomplishment. Respect is kahit sino ka pa man.
Regardless
Respect,
of age.
yeah. Respect is pagpapakatao. 'Di ba?
Pagkakaroon ng moral value sa ating
Yeah,
sarili.
that's very important. Sabi ko nga, iba-iba ang ating trabaho. Kasi, paano na lang kung lahat tayo teachers, kung lahat tayo police, kailangan may maging fishermen, kailangan may maging vendors,
Farmers.
kailangan may maging farmers, and kailangan na may dignity of labor. And dignity of labor is earned through what? Through respect of others.
Yes.
Given to these laborers. Kaya hindi sinasabi na mga gwardya ngaya ini.
Yes.
Dinagat mga gwardya. 'Di ba? So there is already meaning, negative meaning sa expression. Oo, kahit hindi mo sinabi na mga gwardyaman sa naka mo, mga gwardya. 'Di ba? The kind of expression, yung intonation na sinasabi natin, mga parasira. Parang like that.
May impact yun sa kanila.
Oo. Ang sinasabi natin dito, we were given by yung nasa taas na ito ang role mo.
Yeah.
Ito ang role mo. And pantay-pantay kayo sa akin. Kaya tayo, ganun din dapat. Hindi tayo nagmamataas. We should be humble.
Humility.
We should be humble. And I guess humility would help us combat anxieties, stresses.
Yes.
'Di ba? Just like when you feel like you are the best in your class and you are arrogant, you are not mentally healthy. You are stressing yourself.
Yes.
And if you don't meet the expectations of others, where do you find yourself? In a locked room. Kasi you have established a level that is actually yours, no? Na hindi naman tanggap ng lahat o ng karamihan. So let me also say that, friends, it is always best that we know how to deal with people of different races,
Yeah.
of different colors.
Ethnicity,
Yeah,
cultures.
yung iba-iba.
Yeah. Yung word na inclusivity talaga.
Yeah, importante yung inclusivity. Kasi long before, 'di ba? May favorite story ako yung Three Letters from Teddy. Yung teachers, favorite lang nila yung mga magaganda, mababango. Pero may mga estudyante kasi na like hindi naliligo kasi nga iba nga ang kultura sa
Yes.
iba ang opportunity sa bahay nila or sa community. Yun lang. Sino ba pala ang palaging inuutusan ni teacher? Yung matalino, yung maganda, yung mabango. Pero yung mahaba ang buhok, yung ano yun?
Maitim.
Maitim na maliit ang katawan, payat, hindi man lang binibigyan ng opportunities. So, inclusivity should also be one aspect that we should develop. Kailangan ito kasi ito yung magbibigay sa atin ng more positive outlook sa buhay. Oh, kaya pala. Let's ask him to join. Diba?
Let's appreciate, sir, individual differences.
Exactly. Last week, that was also the episode that was introduced. Yun yung topic namin. And ngayon meron na naman sequel doon sa topic na yun. Ang ganda. When you talk about people of different cultures, different beliefs, different status, and then you are able to allow each one to contribute
and share.
Yes. Very important. So, napakahalaga na ng ating mental health. And I guess to give us a break.
Yes, sir. I think we have many viewers here.
Wow.
And sa mga may katanungan po, maaari po kayong mag-comment sa ating comment box section at ito po ay sasagutin ng ating panauhing speaker. Sa ngayon, maraming salamat sa panunood, sa inyong pagsubaybay at pagtangkilik sa aming webinar ngayong araw. At napakarami ng shoutout dito, mga nagpapabate at of course, mga nag-share ng kanilang mga experiences dito sa comment box. And while we are waiting sa ating mga katanungan, maaari tayong magbasa ng mga shoutout. Ayan, hello daw po sa lahat ng Filipino majors. Ayan. And meron din dito sending virtual. Be humble. At karamihan sa kanila, sir, nagbigay ng kanilang mga kuro-kuro at opinion base sa mga naririnig nilang mga sinishare mo
May
po.
nabasa ako doon, embrace diversity.
Yes, sir. Ayan. Napakarami ng mga nagbibigay ng kanilang komento. At habang naghihintay tayo ng mga katanungan, let's have first, I think we should have first the intermission number.
Yes.
So let's have here the intermission number coming from Mr. Alden de la Peña of 3rd year BKS.
You're the one that never lets me sleep. To my mind, down to my soul, you touch my lips. You're the one that I can't wait to see. With you here by my side, I'm in ecstasy. I am all alone without you. Days are dark without a glimpse of you. Now that you came into my life, I feel complete. Flowers bloom, my morning shines, and I can see. Tu amor is like the sun that lights up my whole world. I feel the warmth inside. Tu amor is like a river that flows down through my veins. I feel the chill inside. Every time I hear our music play, reminds me of the things that we've been through. In my mind I can't believe it's true, but in my heart the reality is you. I am all alone without you. Days are dark without a glimpse of you. But now that you came into my life, I feel complete. The flowers bloom, my morning shines, and I can see. Tu amor is like the sun that lights up my whole world. I feel the warmth inside. Tu amor is like a river that flows down through my veins. I feel the chill inside. Tu amore, tu amore, tu amore, yeah. Tu amor is like a river that flows down through my veins. I feel the chill inside.
Ayan, thank you so much, Alden de la Peña from third year Bika Ed. Ayan, napakarami ng mga
Oy,
messages sa...
JP, before that,
Mhm.
grabe, nabigla ako. Alden is a former student of our school.
Wow.
And siya talaga ang palaging nasa front act pag may mga programs kami. Ang dami-dami naming programs like international, national, and then isa siya sa mga talagang bida.
Yes, kaya di naman sir nakakapagtaka na napakarami ang naantig sa kanyang boses at
Yes, oo.
nag-comment dito sa ating comment box po, sir. Ayan, ang dami nagsasabi. Nice voice, Kuya Alden. At meron din dito, thanks, Dr. Jeremy Cruz. We inspire of what you share. Ayan, napakaraming shout out at I am now encouraging everyone to please send your questions or queries in the comment box section para po masagot po ng ating panauhing speaker. Ayan, meron dito gusto ka sana magtanong kaso yung globe pabida. So, merong problem sa kanyang signal. Ayan, meron din dito, thanks so much our aspiring Dr. Jeremy Cruz. We learned a lot.
Wow. May I know the name?
Coming from Charmaine Madelar.
Shout out kay Charmaine Madelar. Thank you.
Ayan, meron din dito from May Doctama. It's nice to hear your voice again, Sir Jeremy Cruz.
Wow.
Dating OIC namin sa Orsite ata.
Yes,
Sir?
yes, yes.
Orsite, yes. Ayan, ang daming nandito. Meron din dito from Erica Borromeo. Thank you so much po, Sir Cruz and Sir JP for the talks. At thank you rin sa inyong pagsubaybay. At meron din dito shout out po from Manny Boy Morco. Shout out daw sa B.Ed, second year B.Ed Black 20. Ayan, ang dami nagpapabate at hinihintay po namin kung may mga katanungan pa po kayo at yan po ay sasagutin mismo ngayon ng ating panauwing speaker.
Dahilan sa pandemic na iba talaga, no? Dati dapat tayo ang magtatanong sa kanila.
Yes, sir.
Ngayon,
Ayan, it seems na lahat ng nandito nakikita ko sa comment box ay mga positive comments. Lahat pagpupuri sa ating panauwing speaker. Thanks po from Beverly Llaneta. Thanks daw po kay Dr. Jeremy Cruz. Marami po kaming natutunan.
thank you
Ayan.
very much. Nakaka-inspire, no? Kailangan ganito dapat din continuing, no?
Mhm.
Although nasa closing na tayo, yung pagbibigay ng mga ganyang hindi naman hinihingi natin, but compliments really matter. 'Di ba? When you are told, "Oy, thank you ha. Thank you sa ginawa mo.
Yeah.
May nalaman ako, may nagawa ako." If you are saying that to somebody na, wow, 'di ba? Nababago mo ang mood.
Yes.
And the more that person is becoming inspired.
Yeah, same just like this sir po na coming from Rosel Adrian Monreal. Same po tayo, Mr. JP Abellano. Yan, parehas din daw po kami, sir, ng pinagdaanan na
Oh,
tinanggap din siya ng DCOMC and ALS passer siya, sir. Ayan.
wow.
So, talagang malaking opportunity ang nabibigay ng ating paaralan, DCOMC Pandayan ng Pangarap.
I want to meet that yung ALS passer kasi yung head ng ALS task force ng Department of Education in the whole country is actually my best friend who is also Ali Peña. Oo, siya ang head ng task force national. Napaka lapit ng puso ko sa ALS. Kasi nga 'di ba, ito yung mga grupo ng mga estudyante na
willing talaga, sir,
makapagtapos kahit hindi yung schedule nila ay iba, no? Kasi nga may trabaho sila, yung iba naman malayo ang bahay sa paaralan. So they enroll in the alternative learning system. And I'd like also to promote that yung Legazpi po ay ini-expand ngayon ang alternative learning system. As a matter of fact, there are schools identified like Cabangan High School, our school, Legazpi City National High School, Orosite, para maging yung ALS High School. Thank you very much sa aming supervisor in charge on the alternative learning system, si Sir Glenn Nation. Very passionate din talaga na magkaroon ng ALS High School sa Legazpi. Okay.
Yes, sir. And it seems that lahat ng nandito sa comment box natin ay mga greetings lamang at mga pa-shout out. And wala pong nagbibigay ng kanilang katanungan. And ayan, lahat nagpapabati ng good afternoon. And karamihan din ay mga binibigay nila, yung mga nabanggit mo po, sir, na mga salita, importanteng message kanina.
Opo.
Like kanina yung cellphone ay hindi dapat maging best friend. Tumatak sa kanilang mga isipan. Yung...
Thank you. That's so nice.
And I think since wala naman pong nagbibigay ng kanilang katanungan dito sa ating comment box. Ayan, meron din dito. Thank you, Sir Jer. Lahat, siguro ko lahat naman, sir, kasi nasabi mo hindi na, wala nang dapat pang itanong.
Opo.
Na-share mo na po yung mga dapat.
Thank you. So, Sir JP, I'd like to allow me to say my last piece. Okay. Especially to the students of DCOMC, I know the kind of culture you are in, and DCOMC is there. And with its new mantra, Pandayan
ng
Pangarap, it's so touching, it's so inspiring that anyone will really be so pushed to do more so he or she can achieve more, so that he or she will become the better version of his or himself. Congratulations po, Daraga Community College, Sir Joey, and of course the Dean, Sir
The CSC po, sir?
no, the Dean of the
Yeah.
college, my classmate.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes, actually, sir, na-mention niya po, sir,
Sa
talaga.
congratulations po sa inyo at of course sa mga teachers. Kasi kung wala yung mga teachers and then the LGU also and the
Yeah.
other stakeholders,
Yes.
thank you very much po sa inyo. You are not only making or providing education to the learners or to the students, but you are preparing them for a bright future. So I wish you students good luck, and I hope that you will not fail us, kasi nga you have been developed with the kind of attitude that you should have in facing anxieties, challenges, specifically the things that were brought by this pandemic. So kayang-kaya natin ito. Kung talagang nahihirapan na tayo, ito lang sasabihin ko, magpahinga muna. And when we become fully recovered, we start again and continue. Because at the end of the day, there will be something that we will be able to produce, and that we will be proving to the rest of the world that we can do it, we will do it, because we are gifted. So, thank you very much, and nag-enjoy ako masyado ngayong hapon.
Thank you so much din, sir, dahil naisingit mo po ang aming imbitasyon at naka-attend ka po dito ngayon. Kaya naman, maraming salamat po, Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz. And of course, sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Daraga Community College, maraming salamat din po. Ngayon, since wala na pong mga katanungan, nais ko pong ibigay itong Certificate of Appreciation to Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz in grateful acknowledgement of his outstanding and invaluable service rendered as resource speaker during the webinar session entitled Mind Matters, Balancing Academics and Mental Health via CARE 104.3 The Way FM, thereby contributing immeasurably to the success of the webinar. Given this 15th day of May 2021, signed by the third-year curriculum advisor, Ma'am Anna May Vargas, OSAS coordinator, Sir J.F. Nase, our college dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, and college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora. So thank you so much po, sir.
Thank you very much. I accept this with a challenge that you will get out of your shells, develop yourselves more, and become productive members of the community. And personally, I would like to say thank you to the staff of D-Way 104.3. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, sir. Madam, thank you. And also to the guard on duty. He was very welcoming.
Yeah.
Thank you, the D-Way station.
Yeah, same with Sir Jeremy. I would like also to extend our deepest gratitude to the 104.3 Dewey FM for accommodating us today. And of course, our technical support and to the guard. Thank you so much for the accommodation. So I hope that you find this informative and full of learning. And for closing remarks, let us hear from Mr. J.F. Nase, our SAS coordinator.
To our college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, to our college dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, to the station manager and staff of CARE 104.3, The Way FM radio station, to our resource speaker, Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz, to the federated advisor, Ma'am Anna May Mancera, and to the faculty members, students of the Daraga Community College, and everyone who are watching our webinar session today, good afternoon. Mental health is one of the aspects that should be considered by both teachers and students in order for an effective learning to take place. If you remember last semester, we had a webinar on rising above challenges. to address mental difficulties of both teachers and students in these trying times. During this time of pandemic, it is really undeniable how students and teachers struggle in adjusting to the new form of learning environment. Considering that learning takes place from home, it is a challenge for everybody to balance their academic responsibilities while taking care of their mental health. Fortunately, the third year federated organization has come up with a webinar entitled Mind Matters, Balancing Academic and Mental Health as a part 2 of our mental health awareness. To our dear students, let us take care of our mental health because mind always matters. Moreover, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Jeremy A. Cruz for a very comprehensive presentation that will be surely useful to stabilize the academic and mental welfare of our students. Thank you also to Care 104.3 The Way FM for always accommodating Daraga Community College whenever we are having webinar like this. And of course, congratulations to third year federated officers spearheaded by Ma'am Ana May Mancera for the initiative to make this event possible. And also to the College Student Council and Science Club for the sponsorship and support. I hope that this webinar won't be the last. We are hoping for more webinars in the future. Before I end, I would like to leave you a simple reminder. If things are not coming your way, take time to pause and breathe. Remember that it is not just your body that needs rest, but also your mind. Stay calm and explore the beauty of life because your mental health matters. And at the end of the day, happiness will always be the richest income.
Ayan, thank you so much, Sir Jay Nase, our SAS coordinator. Thank you so much. And for our future educators, thank you for attending this forum. I do hope that learnings you've gained here will not just end in this forum. May you serve as a bridge to foster those learnings. Maraming maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga tumutok at sumubaybay sa amin ngayong hapon. Muli, ito po si JP Abellano nagpapaalala sa anumang sakuna, tayo ay manalangin. Kaligtasan ay ipagkakaloob sa atin. Maraming maraming salamat.